Mr. Stevens here. Today we're starting a new unit all about the topic of algebra. And we're going to start off this unit today by learning some what I think will be new words that will help us, or that we need to know, to talk about algebra. Let me start with introducing you to the key premise of algebra, and that is using letters instead of numbers. Now let me show you how that works with this example here. We have our friend Petra, who is paid at a rate of $12 per hour. And then if you look down here in the table, you see that when she works 1 hour, you can work out how much money she earns by doing 12 times 1. When she works 2 hours, you can work out how much money she earns by doing 12 times 2, and so on with 3. What is really cool though is if you replace the number of hours that she works with the letter N that we're going to use to represent the number of hours that Petra has worked, we can create for ourselves a handy little formula that we can use to work out how much she gets paid for any amount of hours that she works. This letter N here and here means the same thing. Is standing in for any number we choose. If she works, N can equal 6 if she works 6 hours. N can equal 8 if she works 8 hours. It can equal 320 if she works 320 hours. It can stand in for any number we want it to. Okay, let's look at some important definitions. The name we give to the N is either the pronumeral or the variable. You'll often see X used, sometimes you'll use A, but really we can use any letter of the alphabet. And that is the definition of a pronumeral. A letter of the alphabet that's used to represent numbers. I'm going to say represent numerical value. Okay, now an expression in the next line is what we make when we're using these letters instead of numbers. For example, this that we were working with up here is an expression. Well, let's say 3a plus 5. That's an expression. It's a statement containing numbers and pronumerals. A statement containing numbers and pronumerals. Now, a term is the word we use for the individual parts of an expression. So 3a is a term in this expression, and 5 is also a term in this expression. Terms are the parts of an expression. Now, the constant is a special name that we give to the parts of an expression that don't have any letters. Okay, the thing about this A is that it can change. A can take on any value you like it to, but 5 is always 5. The value of 5 will never change. That's why we call it the constant. It's the part of an expression with only numbers. No pronumerals. And coefficient, the last word we need to know, refers to this number out here. The coefficient is the number that comes before the pronumeral. Sorry. The number that comes before a pronumeral okay. One other important thing we need to learn how to do is to take an expression that's written out in words and turn it into numbers and symbols. So let's look at this first one, 5 more than k. More than, or some that we'll see later, are words that mean to add. So if we want to get 5 more than k, we have to start with k and add 5. It's going to work the same here in part B. To get 3 less than m, we have to start with m and take away 3. Now, as I mentioned before, this word sum means plus. So the sum of a and b is a plus b. Double the value of x. The way we double the value of something is we times it by 2. And this is a really important point that we're going to come across a lot in algebra. When we have this scenario, a letter times a number, we don't need to put the times in between. 2 times x can be written like this, 2x with nothing in the middle. And when you see this, 2x, I want you to remember that this is what it means, 2 times x. It's convention that we put the number first. We write it as 2x, not x2. But just remember that when you see this, that it means there is a times in the middle. And it also works with numbers, with 2 letters. In this last example, E, the product means to times. So the product of C and D means C times D. And this can also be written as C, D with nothing in between. This times is in this space, we just don't write it. But that doesn't mean it's not there. Okay guys, what you're going to do now is go to page 344 of your textbook and you're going to answer questions 1 to 6. Thanks everyone.